Morning. If you're wondering why I'm pulling away from the boatyard and not the last place you saw me moor, I've got a tale to tell, and I'll tell you it now. Where I was actually moored is on the right, quite far down where them trees are. What I was going to do, I'm thinking I'll go back to the boatyard, I'll get some fuel, I'll fill up with water, I'll empty the toilet cassettes, turn around and come back to the same mooring, ready for the trip round to the River Stort the next day. And I'm having a bit of an argument with myself whether to put a camera on the roof or not and film it. And I thought, people are not going to be interested in me emptying toilet cassettes and things like that. Well, how wrong could I have been? So I finished all the business that I had to do in the boatyard, and I was just getting under Abbots Road Bridge at Stansted Abbots, and the engine started revving up on its own. I was thinking, this is strange. Then it started coughing and spluttering, and then it stopped. And I couldn't get it started again. When you've got no engine, you can't steer the boat, you can't stop the boat, you're just floating. I happened to see a young lady on the end of her boat making a phone call, so I shouted to her, can you catch the rope? I ran down the gunnels and threw the rope as quick as I could, and she caught about the last 6 inches of it. Now that young lady must have been 4'10", and there was more fat on a greasy chip, and she managed to stop Aitch and pull Aitch back to her boat so I could tie it up. I was thanking my lucky stars that she must have had her 3 pieces of shredded wheat for breakfast that morning. Then, as luck would have it, the boat behind her moved off, so I pulled Aitch back by the ropes and moored Aitch up properly. I've got a boat mechanic there, and he found out that the diesel had water in it, and water had got into all the system, so he had to pump the water out of the diesel and flush all the pipes. He got the engine going well enough so that I could limp back to the boatyard and he could do the work properly. So me and Aitch spent the rest of the afternoon and early evening while all the work was done, like changing the filters and everything else, so that it was a proper job done. What I would like to do is thank Mick the mechanic for being what I would class as a proper human being and a gentleman, and very good at his job. So thanks Mick, if you're listening. And that's how I ended up pulling out from the boatyard and not from the mooring where you see me moor up at the end of the last video. Anyway, enough of that, let's get on with this cruise. We're starting off where the arrow is at Lee Valley Marina. We're going to go down the River Lee and turn onto the River Stort for another new experience. Me and Aitch are on the River Lee, heading in the direction of London. I could hear all this traffic from where I was moored up. I walked up the towpath earlier in the week up to under this bridge, and the sights and the smells, you could only sort of describe the people that was here as bohemian. That's okay, they was doing nobody else any harm. The leaves on the trees are just starting to change colour. One of the best times of the year when all the leaves are turning brown, and it does make for some beautiful scenery. You've got all these beautiful scenes, and then you're starting to see some industrial areas. If you look down the end of the river there, I think it's where they burn all the rubbish, incinerate it. If anyone knows, can you let me know in the comments? Then it's mixed up with some quaint little places like this that look delightful. I think that's Rye House Speedway track over there on the left, where you can see the floodlights. The red vessel over there on the right looks like another one of them lifeboats, what the people in the comments so rightfully informed me on the last video. I hope the people moored up in them boats on the left are not trying to eat their cornflakes or anything, because that narrowboat coming up looks like it's going a little bit over tick-over speed to me with all that wake. There's the well-known supermarket brand's distribution centre over there on the right. I'm seeing a lot more industrial areas the closer that I'm getting to London. Like this over here on the left. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone out there knows what it is and can tell me in the comments. But it's a noisy old place. And a lot of people have got their permanent moorings right on top of it. I suppose these people work in London and need to be close to London. And needs must with the housing shortages in London. It's probably a bit cheaper to moor here. And then you get under this railway bridge and the scenery changes again. So beautiful. You wouldn't think the other side of the bridge was like that. Look. I was having a look at the Nicholson guide last night, and over there on the right is the River Lee going down to London. Then you've got Fields Weir straight in front of you, and you should have the River Stort coming up on the left, but I can't see the opening for the River Stort. I'm hoping I read the maps right. I still can't see the Stort. It's a good job the engine packed up yesterday and not today, as I'd go ploughing over that weir. That'd be exciting for you, wouldn't it? Here it is. I can see something coming up here on the left. Nice and slow. I can't see if anything's coming the other way, so I'll just take me time. I'm turning back on myself, and we're going to head in a northerly direction away from London again. I wonder what adventures me and Aitch are going to have up here. Whatever they are, you can be sure that I will show you. That's if you're kind enough to join me in the next episode. So if you got this far, thanks for coming along with me. I enjoyed that.